back to Happy Apple Core Homestead. Today I'm going to show you how to make all natural apple juice. It has no sugar, no preservatives, just pure apple juice. Here in front of me I have a crate of apples from my little orchard. I have several crates off to the side here, but we're just going to focus on this one for now. We're going to be using a steam juicer to extract the juice from the apples. I do find that it is the easiest way to get that juice out of the apples. It does take a little bit of time though, maybe an hour and a half or so to get the juice out from like one batch. If you would like a more detailed video on how to use a juice steamer, I will link a video up here for you to check that out, but I am going to go step by step for you on this process. So back behind me here is my steam juicer. The bottom bowl has water all the way up to the top. The middle section is where the juice will collect. There's a tube that the juice will go down, and I'll take you closer so you can see what it looks like. And then the very top basket is where the apples will go. When you're making apple juice with a steam juicer, you're going to want to obviously wash your apples really well, and then you're going to want to cut them into like 1-inch chunks. If you leave them whole, which you technically can, it's going to take a lot longer to extract the juice, so I do recommend cutting them. You don't even have to take the stems off or the seeds out. You don't have to core them. Just chunk them into 1-inch pieces and throw them into the basket, put the lid on, and kind of let them go and do their thing. I'm going to get these all washed up, cut, and into the basket, and once that's done, I'll take you up close so you can see what it looks like. We have the very full container here. We're going to turn the heat up to a high and set the lid on it. And then we're just going to let this get nice and hot. This water down here in the bottom will start to boil, which will rise the steam up, and the apples will release their juices. When we get to that point, I will bring you back and show you the next step. We have some juice down here in the tube, and I'm going to fill up this mason jar here. Because we're going to be canning these today, I'm going to make sure that I have an appropriate headspace. And we want about a 1/4-inch headspace for apple juice. Over here I do have clean and sanitized jars as well as clean lids. These lids do not need to be pre-boiled, so I've just got them nice and clean over there. And I have a bubble popper up here out of the view of the video, not because we'll need to pop the bubbles, we won't, but I use the little magnetic end to pick up my lids. So I'm going to go ahead and get this filled up. This tube here does get hot. I'm also going to have a secondary glass here just to be prepared. Alright, that's pretty good. And then I put this tube right in there so any of the extra juice that comes out will go into the next jar that we're going to prepare. And this is very, very hot, so just be careful. You want to take a clean paper towel that's just damp with water and wipe the rim. And grab your clean lid and put that right on top. And then put the ring on. And just finger tight is good enough, but it's super hot, so I'm just going to get myself a mitt. And then we're going to set this aside. When I have all of the jars full, we're going to run them through the canner. So once I get all of my apples done, over here I have another bowl of cut apples that I'm going to process through. And once I get all of them cooked down, I will walk you through the canning process and also tell you some things that you can do with your leftover apples that are up in the top there. We are finally on our last batch of apples. We got quite a bit of juice, but I also take the spent apples and I just pop them in here because I'm turning all of this into applesauce. Down here, I have my KitchenAid attachment food mill. Because this is such a large batch, I did not want to use the hand crank one, but those would work great for this application as well. In this way, there is no waste whatsoever of the apples. We get lots of good, healthy juice, and then we will also do applesauce. I will go ahead and link up a video for you and show you how I make my applesauce. The only difference with this batch, as opposed to my video, is that I do not add any lemon juice when I do it this way because it's just not necessary. Whatever oxidation is going to happen has happened, and the lemon juice will not add anything but sourness to the applesauce. So I will not add any at all to that. I am going to continue showing you how to make your apple juice shelf stable, but I just wanted to let you know what I was doing with all of my extra apples. When we come back, I will have my canner ready and we will go ahead and do that process together. 2 crates of apples yielded us 6 quarts of apple juice and 1 pint. I do have hot water started in this canner. It's important that you have your rack. I'm using just a standard water bath canner here today, and let's put the jars in. There's our 7 jars, and we're going to very gently lower the rack down. I know some people wait until their water is boiling. I don't, because I don't exactly know how much water is going to cover the jars, and they do need to be covered by 1 to 2 inches of water. So for example, if I just got it started like this, it would not be enough water over the top of these quarts. So I'm gonna put a little bit more water in and turn the temperature up while I'm at it. Okay, that's about 1 inch, and we can't go much further because we're basically at the top of the pot. Now we will put the lid on and wait until this comes to a full rolling boil. We can't start our timer until then. I have a lot of cleaning to do. All of my equipment needs to be hand washed, so I'm gonna work on that while this is heating up. All right, we're at a full rolling boil. That's what it looks like. Going nice and strong. We're gonna leave that lid on, and then we're gonna set a timer for 10 minutes. The timer has gone off, so we're gonna turn the heat off and just take this big pot and move it to a cool burner. I know it looks like I'm scraping it, but you guys, I promise I'm lifting it up carefully. And we're gonna take the lid off. And then we will set another timer for 5 minutes before we take the jars out. All right, the 5-minute timer has gone off, so we're gonna take these jars out. Try not to tip them as you pull them out. And you're gonna wanna set them on a towel just to prevent thermal shock. Here are our pretty jars, and we're just gonna let these rest here for about 24 hours. And when they are nice and cool, I will take you to the next step. The apple juice is all done. It's the next day, so it's cooled off, and now we just have to do the finishing touches. We want to make sure that all of the lids sealed. We'll start by taking off the rings. I do not store my jars with the rings on, so they stay off at this point. And to determine if your lids are sealed, you can do the tap test. If they sound kind of pingy like that, then they're sealed. If they sound like a hollow thud, then they're not sealed. But I don't just trust that. I also lift them up a little bit from the lid and make sure that they don't pop off. Then you're going to want to wash around the lid area. Make sure there's no sticky stuff on the outside of the jar. Once that's done, it's time to put a label on them. This apple juice is a beautiful pink color, and it's almost the exact same color as my Himrod grape juice. So super important that we get a label put on there so that I know what I'm getting myself into when I open up a jar. I like to use dissolvable labels because once I open a jar, it just comes right off with water and it's not difficult to get off. I put what is in the jar along with the date. And that's it. That's how you make your own pure apple juice at home. I hope this video was helpful for you, and I will see you soon. I gotta grab my phone now. Bye!